Hey, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to another week of the Female POV. We've got a couple of returning guests and one new, as always, with my esteemed co-hosts, Spence and TC. Ladies, let's do just a quick round of intros for the audience. As a reminder, it's your name, your age, where you're from, what you do, and your current relationship status. Let's, Amelia, I've got you first written down. Let's start with you.
Hello, my name is Amelia. I am married. I am 32 years old. And I'm from Central Coast, California.
Angelina.
Hi, I'm Angelina. I am 28. I'm in a relationship and I am in LA.
And Robin finishes off.
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm based in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. I'm 28 and I'm single.
Okay. So, guys, as you remember, we always try to ask the ladies some pre-show questions to kind of get some conversation topics. We've done hot take in the past, but tonight we kind of decided to do things a little bit differently because we had some returning guests. So I asked all of the ladies to give their best dating tip for men in 2026. And we're kind of painting this picture of this guy who is the average guy who struggles on dating apps, doesn't get a lot of matches, doesn't necessarily get a lot of attention from women. I don't want to kind of give too much away, but the average man's experience, and this is foreign to a lot of people, especially women, like invisible, right? You know, not being paid attention to, definitely not getting DMs on Instagram and things like that, just kind of struggling. Maybe now and then he'll match with a girl and he'll fuck it up after a couple of messages. So a guy that really just needs some help. And so this scenario is what we see a lot of guys do, where they say, okay, well, if I want to date women, then I should just go ask women what they want or what advice they would give me. So that's what I want to start with. So, you know, I gave you kind of a practice run on the virtual stage, but I want to hear from the ladies in their own words as far as like, what's your best tips and advice for men you'd give in 2026? And let's just keep it in line with the order. Let's start with Amelia first.
Well, I would ask that guy, you know, what are you saying on these dates? Are you saying like out of pocket stuff like that, or that's
let's assume he's getting almost no dates at all. Like if it's a date, it's lucky. And it's kind of like he shows up and before he even opens his mouth, she goes, oh, this guy is not what I thought. You know, this is really based on how does a guy get noticed and become attractive enough to where women want to go on dates with him. That's kind of where we're going with this. I just didn't want to give too much away, but that's kind of where we want to go.
I don't know. Maybe he needs to change up his wardrobe. You know, the style does have a part in it, you know, making yourself look appealing.
What do you think that is? Like what style, like what's appealing to women in terms of like style?
Well, if it's a first date, maybe dress up a little bit to, you know, just if you're going somewhere nice, you know.
I think you should put on a suit.
No, not necessarily a suit, but I mean, if he's showing up and just
shows up,
it also depends where the first date is. But you know,
Amelia, hold on. Like one more time, just so we're clear on this. He isn't getting dates. Like he's not getting dates. He's not getting dates. We're trying to get this man a date. Okay. That's a fair answer. That's a fair question. That's a fair question. Maybe we'll think about it and come back on if something pops up. Angelina, why don't we go to you?
Sorry, I'm laughing.
It's a fun show.
Definitely. Well, I hate to say it, but I think I'm a little traditional with this because like I like to feel special. So like for me, when I was dating, it was like, okay, you need to look clean and presentable because I look clean and presentable. And unless you're saying like, oh, our first date is going to go, you know, we're going hiking in the woods. First of all, I would never do that because he's probably trying to kill you. And that's a red flag. But if you guys are going to dinner, dress nice, like clean yourself up. Don't look homeless, please. For me, particularly, I liked getting flowers. So like you should be offering to pick them up or give them the option to dry themselves. But like, I don't know. I guess it's like, I don't know. So many things, so many things going through my mind.
I'm going somewhere with this now, and now I've got like you all read deadlocked, but I'll let Robin give her take on it. Well, you had a hot take. You didn't we asked you about, you chose that you had a hot take, and maybe we'll go to that. But do you have any dating advice for men? Do you have anything that would help men get noticed by women? What do you think guys should do if they're coming to you and they have no success?
I would just say, well, first of all, like you need to like, how do you feel about yourself? Like, if you are insecure about yourself, you're going to project your insecurity onto the people you talk to, whether it's men or females. So if you walk around and you're like, nobody likes me, nobody wants to date me, then sorry, but probably nobody will. So if you come around and you're like, hey, like wardrobe is also important. I agree with that as well. If you keep up good hygiene, if you are confident about yourself, if you know what you want out of your own life, then it's easier to talk about someone, let's say, that like to find someone that wants maybe what you want or knows what they want in life, so that you guys are on kind of like a path where you can discuss like other options and if you guys are good together and stuff like that. But if you don't really have a path in life, I find you can't really, like, you don't know how, like, if you don't know how you feel about yourself, it's harder
What if he
to,
feels really good? He's like, I'm a man. I'm the man. I'm stoked. I love everything about myself, but I can't get dates. What do I do?
I would say, well, first of all, like, you got to embrace, like, you can't think that you're perfect, first of all, because nobody's perfect, you know.
Either I hate myself or I love myself. Like,
No,
it's the
there's a
perfect
fine
happy
line.
middle. Like,
Yeah.
what?
So, like, I have
Okay,
my
go ahead.
days where I'm like, oh, like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm not having a good day. I'm feeling insecure about myself. But, like, at the end of the day, I still kind of know what I want out of life. So it's like it's like the middle ground, like, you know what you want out of your life and you want someone that kind of knows the same, but you don't want to be like, oh, I'm better than you, or like whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the
Kind of.
happy medium.
Like the
Happy
coffee.
medium, yeah. Word
So
jumble again, but yeah.
it's okay. It's nothing we haven't seen on this show before. The reason I asked this, you all did wonderful, but at the same time, you kind of proved my point. And now, like, you may agree with this. Most women don't. I think exhibited by these three answers here, before I give away the cherry on top, let's kind of rehash what just happened. Both Amelia and Angelina, you're talking multiple times about a guy who's already on a date. There's nothing in there about, like, because you're talking about them paired together. So this tells me dudes that can't get women are invisible, or any guy because we know you're talking about you on the date, right? Like, well, if somebody was dating me. So a dude you're not on a date with is invisible to you. That's my contention from that. I thought what was interesting about what Robin said is that women tend to think about the world through their own lens. And it went from, well, maybe he's insecure, maybe he's not, but maybe he's too perfect. Like, it's this. And then, but the end, it was like, well, when I'm feeling this way, I know that I don't like to X, Y, Z. So it all came back to, like, so there wasn't a single answer. And the only applicable advice I think we heard was, like, take a shower and then, like, don't dress like a piece of shit. But in any case, I didn't hear anything about, charisma or be in good shape, make certain amount of money, all these kind of, or like know how to talk to women or know what ticks. So I think I did a video today on Instagram, really short one, that was just like, we hear women say things like, we want a nice guy who's comparing or compassionate and caring, and he has the same goals and values and morals as us. But we think, maybe you can chime in on this, we tend to think that women are only saying those things and attributing those traits to guys they're already attracted to. Because I think you can find fat bum dudes out there that are losers that can also talk to you and listen to you and have the same morals and goals and all those things. But for one reason or another, they're not attractive to you. So do you think that being a nice guy is inherently attractive, or is that like be attractive first and then we'll talk about, you being nice?
I do think that, dating apps, they show your face, they show your pictures first before you know them. So I do think attraction is key. But if you meet someone and he looks amazing, but he has nothing, like he doesn't have anything to talk about with you, like it's kind of boring, then for me personally, I'd be like, it's not worth it for the looks because I don't like being bored. I'm sure he doesn't like being bored either. You know what I mean? But if I
Is this
met
a real
someone
trope that exists? Really quick, like I kind of no, I'm 100. I'm really curious because this seems to be something that women say a lot, but again, speaking from my own biases, I know a lot of good, well-to-do, successful men that are in good shape, that are attractive. I don't know if I know any really good-looking, like dumbass airhead guys that are like models. The best-looking guys that I know and the guys that seem to get a lot of women tend to be very well-spoken, highly charismatic. Like the dumb jock, is that a real thing or is that kind of made up?
I would say
Angelina
Yeah,
says
that's real.
yes.
Yeah, 100% that's real.
So just like Gronk from Emperor's New, like that, you're just run into a lot of those guys that are just dumbos, even though they're good looking and buff. Like, give me an example. Like, how did you know this guy was
I
a
don't want
dummy?
to call people out, but
I
like,
know, but
if he's
come on, who's the
watching
fun
this, he
man?
knows.
Tell us,
who he
tell us
is.
the dumbest thing.
She goes, if he's watching,
If he's watching, you
All
know
right.
who you are.
tough.
My favorite. Let's
You
those guys that talk a lot about themselves. They don't really, ask questions about the other person. They're very just me.
so not necessarily dumb, just not interested in you.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
And sometimes
much as
they
you would
are the
want
dumb
them.
ones.
Like, what makes a dude dumb? Can he not read the menu? I don't know. Like, what is it about where you're like, oh yeah, this dude is a dumb.
Just doesn't think of others, and just maybe common sense just kind of goes out the window. Courtesy, manners, maybe.
I see how manners is a big one. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
I'm
like,
curious because I got Robin. Yeah, because you brought that.
yeah,
I see it in cartoons. I don't see it play out much in the real world.
I mean, George
Yeah.
Floyd can't read, so there's. He's kind of dumb. Like,
what?
not George Floyd, Floyd Mayweather. I'm sorry. Was that racist?
We'll be right
Wrong-
back.
wrong
We'll be right
person of
back.
color.
We'll be right back. We're gonna go to commercial. We'll be right back.
I was laughing
right.
nervously.
You
You
had
had
as
that
we
one
were
wrong.
going
We're
on.
He can't breathe. It's not he can't read. He
I
can't
had
breathe.
no idea what to say. I was in complete shock. I was like, wow.
I
Floyd
didn't
Mayweather.
even mean to smile. I
Everyone
just,
was like,
smiling
what? And I'm like,
nervously.
Holy shit.
That's going on in the Hall of
it's
Fame.
because the
That's gonna
name
we're clipping
Floyd.
that.
I was like, what?
Listen, Angelina, we don't judge on this show. Whatever subliminal thoughts you got going on up there is none of our business. Robin, please continue your thought.
I just think like some people I've met in the past, they base their personality solely on their looks. So that's where the dumbness comes in, because I think, well, first of all, looks don't last forever. It gets you in the door, but it like I said, if you don't have anything to bring to the table afterwards, like no one's just going to stare at your face. You got to be interesting, you got to be that, like, I wouldn't say it was dumb, but I would say like the guy, like he knows he's good looking and he just thinks that's good enough, and it's not. And same with girls too. They're like, yeah, I'm pretty.
Wow.
I can get whatever I want, whoever I want. And
For
then
a lot
I
of
don't
women,
really
that's
have to do
true.
much after that. Yeah.
A lot of women, that's true. Like the best looking women in the world don't have to do much. I mean, they really don't have to do a whole lot of shit. Let me, you brought up something interesting. I want to kind of pivot to this. So this is not exactly what you said, but how much experience, or like, would you agree that you've been on dates or you've met guys that are a bit wishy-washy with their convictions? They're kind of, or they're just clearly go along to get along, whatever's the popular thing. They're just like, oh, did you see the blah, blah, blah? That's so cool or not cool. I don't know. What do you think of that kind of guy? And that's, we hate that, right? Like, that's not cool. We're not into that.
I can't think of like a situation recently that I've experienced.
Let me try to this. Like,
but
what
If they're
about
though, it sounds like they're just trying to get an approval from you.
if
not-
all of the opinions are like the majority? If there's no dissenting, this guy's like, yeah, everything, like whatever the current popular thing is, that's what I think, right? Or whatever. If you go along with it, it's like a lot of, yeah, me too. Oh, I totally agree. Kind of, you see where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that can kind of come off as fake sometimes, or are you genuinely are like, okay, yeah, or it's like you think it's like there's just no way we agree on everything that's psycho?
Yeah,
I promise I'm
I
going
think
somewhere
like
with this.
like
It would be a little weird if he always just agreed with you because it seems
yeah.
trying too
Have you
hard.
girls ever met a guy like that and then tried to push it to see how far he would agree with stuff?
Yeah.
I have.
Remember if I have or not. I'm sure I have.
The reason so it's going to bring up this other question. This is just going to be kind of interesting for me. So let's say you have a choice between two guys. Like guy number one is this guy. He's just go along to get along. He's very like a leaf in the wind, doesn't have a lot of convictions, has no unpopular opinions. Then guy number two is 100% like he doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. He's like, I like playing XYZ games and I like Dungeons and Dragons. I like all this stuff. I voted for XYZ. I think all this stuff is insane, very unpopular, but he's stands on it with conviction. Which of those guys would be better for you? Like which one of those guys would you be more drawn to, more attracted to, would rather date?
The standing on business guy.
Number 2, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because at least it seems like he's done his research, which is why he's formed such opinions.
See, now what we get to do is we get to see how far we can push that envelope until you go back to guy number one. Because there's some guys out there. I mean, I don't know if anybody's read anything on Twitter lately. We won't get into it, but like, let's maybe work backwards. What's the line that you would draw? Like, if Nick Fuentes is a 10, like, where's the line where you would draw where it's like, this guy's just out to lunch. I can't do the conspiracy shit.
I would say, who is Nick Fuentes?
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to get crushed for that one. The guy that's like Hitler was cool. That guy. The Hitler was cool guy.
Oh.
That's too much for me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's,
That's
10. So
scary.
that's the 10, right? That's the top. Let's say that Hitler was cool guy is the top. So it's like, what's maybe the most controversial opinion you're okay with? Maybe it's something that you agree on that other people might think is controversial. I don't know. Kind of figure out where that line is.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. It would probably have to be brought up for me to be like yes or no.
Yeah.
To be honest.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things we talk to guys a lot, where guys, I think these days are so afraid to be shamed and I think a lot of this has to do with, and I don't know, this is probably a good segue back into passenger princessdom, because Angelina actually brought that up in the pre-show last week, but then we couldn't figure out, we had some connection issues, and we did two shows on it, but we might talk a little bit about it. But you know, this idea that men are sort of afraid to stand on business, or they're afraid to sort of have convictions, because they've been brought up in a society where men that stand up for the things they believe in, and men that are like, yeah, like there's man and women, like man and woman, men and women, like men can't get pregnant, like this stuff that sometimes I can't even believe we have to have conversations on, but that's all been shouted down. Like, oh, you've had your time, right? You've been too loud for too long. It's time to step aside and let women kind of run the show. And there's a lot of guys that are now being raised in society that's like, yeah, okay, like men, what the fuck? Like, we've heard enough of you. And so then they meet women. These women are like, dude, why do you not have like anything strong to stand on? Like, where are your fucking balls? So, I mean, that kind of goes into that passenger princess sort of conversation. I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
I mean, I
have a lot of thoughts.
Totally out of the dating scene, but when I was dating before, I think men are getting kind of, you know, soft, quote unquote. They feel like they don't need to, you know, be a 100% provider. A lot of guys like to go 50-50 with things, or just, yeah, not have a voice anymore. So So yeah, I totally agree with that to an extent. But there's also some guys that, they definitely do stand on business and voice their opinions a little bit more than they should. And maybe that's why girls are maybe intimidated by them.
Why do you think guys are getting soft now?
It's just our
I I don't know.
Are
saw
they?
this
Are they getting
TikTok.
more soft? Right? Is that what we're like kind of agreeing on? Like men are getting soft?
I see it, yeah, a lot. I don't know where it stems from, if it's just the way our world is. Like, I don't know, I hate to say it, but
It stems from their mommy issues because mommy has to go to work now because their dads are like doing this, that, and the other. So like they're not
What's
getting the
this, that, and the
attention
other?
that like they needed. Meaning like their dads are off at work trying to provide, or like, I mean, some dads are not the best and they're just maybe they're
hold on,
home
I'm
and
not
they're just
following
like
this.
drinking a beer,
Dads-
watching TV all day. Like not every dad's the same, but like kids naturally, like biologically speaking, turn to mom. And when mom's like overwhelmed, like she locks herself in a room or she's at work too all day, they're not getting the attention that they need naturally from their mothers. So like they're getting soft because they have all these big feelings and they don't know how to express it, and they take it out on women that they're trying to date.
Mm-hmm.
TC, go ahead.
So you think they need more coddling from mommy?
I wouldn't call it coddling, but they need to have better relationships with their mothers so that way they know how to properly express their feelings instead of like taking it out on all the other women that they come into contact with because they're projecting their mommy issues onto them.
So I
think
tend
that
to find
as well as their fathers being an actual father figure as well. I think
Yeah, they build on each other. Yeah.
have a strong father figure as well in their life to show them what it's like to be a
Yeah, I
Yeah.
tend to find that guys who don't have a dad or their dad is like a soft, weak man are the ones that have whatever this is you're describing, mommy issues. Would you agree with that or no?
I think so.
I would
Yeah, I would agree to an extent.
I wouldn't say I would because I've dated plenty of men with like quote unquote soft dads, and they were some of the manliest men I've ever dated because they knew you didn't have to be like a machismo man to still be a man because they're busy taking care of things that need to be taken care of, which includes bills, you, whatever. So I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I feel like it's like a domino effect. They still have to be a good parent. Got so quiet.
Yeah.
Why
TC,
do we think that? So maybe I missed this, but you said that men are not stepping up or like men are not great fathers or men aren't doing what they need to do or men are not around, like the sort of like the deadbeat dad thing. Why do you think there's such a high prevalence of that, of like single motherhood and guys quote unquote leaving their kids or leaving their families?
Maybe
Because
that's
it's definitely increased, right? Like it's definitely much higher now than it's been before. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I don't know, maybe because that's what they saw their dads do. They're just not in that mind space to take on that responsibility, so they flee from the responsibility entirely.
Do you think most guys that have kids want to take care of them and want to see them and want to be in their lives?
I would hope so.
hope so, yeah.
Angelina, you're not so sure.
I think if you're married, then yeah, of course. But
Okay.
I think if you're with someone and they get pregnant, that's on both of you.
yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll get there,
Yeah.
but I'm talking more
That's your
about
obligation as a father if you help make the baby.
Mhm.
well, we
I
can
just
go
feel like
there,
hookup culture is
'cause
such a prevalent
I don't
thing.
agree with that, but we can go ahead. Go, Angelina, go ahead.
Hookup culture is such a prevalent thing, even more so now than it was like in the 90s and the 80s, because at least back then, if you're knocking someone up, at the very least, you're helping take care of the kid, whether you're with that person or not. And I feel like it's more of a norm now to have a baby mama or baby daddy. because of hookup culture just becoming so normalized. So, and if once again, it does fall on the woman to take care of the kid because she's the one carrying it, and men don't genetically have that responsibility and biologically don't have that responsibility. So they're able to come and go as they please.
Yeah,
And
but
it's just the
let's
norm
say
to
this,
do.
like, I think theoretically, I don't think it's because of hookup. I don't think hookup culture has anything to do with men not sticking around and raising kids. I think it has everything to do with why it's so easy, much easier now to have kids out of wedlock. But I think like what my thing is like, guys want to take care of their kids. I think generally speaking, I don't think that there's this. We're so directly tied to our biology to raising our children, and not to mention, there's guys out there that have kids or can have kids and that can still go hook up with other women and have like girlfriends and have even other wives, right? So it's like I'm trying to see if maybe we have an idea of what the X factor is. Like, why are men? First of all, are men, I guess maybe I should ask this. Are men running out on their kids and their responsibilities, or are they walking away from toxic women who it's so bad to be around them, they don't even want to be around to raise their own kids? Is that a possibility?
Well, it's not the kid's fault. Like, I understand that.
Not the kids, the woman.
No, but what I mean is, like, if a girl gets pregnant and the guy doesn't want to be around her, it like I still don't think like the kid should have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? The kid is the kid, and the baby mama is the baby mama, but you can still have a relationship with your kid.
Yeah, but you can't, right? Like you can't, especially if you're separated, like if you're co-parenting, I mean, when you have him or when she has him or whatever the parental agreement is, that's all signed by judges and law and all that stuff. Like there's certain limitations that you have. So it's not even up to you if you want to have a relationship with your kid. They get to dictate if and how much relationship you get to have. So it really is contingent on a co-parent. You can't circumvent the co-parent.
I think
what was that?
Well, that's only if you go to court, because like with my husband and the mother of his daughter, which is my stepdaughter, they've never gone to court. So they do co-parent, they text.
But if you can't agree, is what I'm saying. Like if you can't agree on how to do it, at some point the law is going to get involved.
Yeah, and that's what me and my son's father, we actually did go to court where it was the judge set these certain days. And those are the days that he's had since kindergarten. He's going to be 13 soon. And that's been set in stone. But yeah, it's tricky because I definitely see with younger couples, I mean, if you're getting pregnant at 16, the numbers and probability, the percentage of guys who are going to be involved is probably less than if you were maybe in your late 20s or 30s when this is happening. You know, I feel like maturity also plays a big role as well. And yeah, if it is a hookup, maybe the numbers are even higher of the guys being involved. But I mean, if you were in a serious relationship after 2 years into it and this is happening, you get pregnant, I think most likely the guy's going to want to stay and co-parent. It just depends on the situation.
Well,
but I'm still trying to. Go ahead.
Yeah,
let's back up one step. So, what this looked like, kind of like in the 80s and 90s, was if you weren't planning on getting married and you're just kind of dating or whatever, and the woman got pregnant, a lot of times you'd have a shotgun marriage, right? So why do we? And this like basically doesn't happen nowadays. So why do you think that stopped happening?
Because it's normalized to have a baby mom and a baby daddy and not being stuck with someone who might make you miserable down the line.
Well, so I think right there you struck the nail on the head, right? Like doing what's right for the child might bring me less happiness.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like we're no longer willing to sacrifice for what's best for our child.
Yeah.
But who's we? Like, and I'm going to stir the pot. Like, I mean, do men and women have an equal hand in this? Like, who's we? right? Like, who's we? Because I mean, as far as I can tell, men are still getting up and going to work, and they're sticking around in marriages with broads they hate because they love to stay around with the kids. Like, women aren't doing that, from what I understand. Like, every day I hear women that are saying, I'm taking the kids and I'm going because I'm not happy. So it's like, the numbers don't support that this is an equal opportunity decision or something that's happening amongst both men and women. It's heavily skewed towards women doing this.
Well,
I
and
don't know,
ladies,
sorry.
ladies, think about this, right? We've all heard, like, people talk about shotgun marriages, shotgun weddings back in the day, right?
Define that real quick for the audience
So
and for the rest of us.
That is.
Yeah, so if you've never heard this term, which amazes me, it's
old
when you're
fashioned.
dating, you're not married, woman gets pregnant, and you basically run to the courthouse to get married as quick as possible. And you're just going to stick it out and figure it out. And when people talk about these situations, I've heard lots and lots and lots of people, men and women, talk about shotgun marriages as a bad thing, because what if the woman's not happy with that man? But I have never heard someone say, what if the man is not happy with that woman?
Well, men who do it typically just end up cheating down the line and staying in it because they already have been married for however long because of this kid that's quote unquote now not necessarily ruined their lives, but like made them stuck in a decision. It's kind of like the consequences of their actions, just you have to deal with those consequences.
But it's still so rare for that to be the male experience. Most guys can't cheat. That's why most guys use porn. Like, most guys in marriages don't even have the option to run around, even if they wanted to. So it's like they're stuck either way, right? They're either stuck with the woman they don't really like, or they're by themselves. And these guys they'll stick around their entire lives because they have no other options. And being with a woman you don't like and seeing your kids is better than being with no women at all and seeing your kids half the time.
When I'm doing like gym time activities, grocery store with my god kids, whatever, walking my dog, all the guys that, even though I'm with someone, but like I still get hit on, and like 9 times out of 10, they're freaking married. Like, they freshly have a ring on, like freshly polished. And it's like, I wouldn't agree with that. I also work in nightlife.
How does that negate anything I said? Because you're like, you would assume that I'm saying these guys are unhappy in their marriages and they don't have options elsewhere. So it's like, it makes more sense that a guy who's unhappy to hit on you, not a guy that's happy and wants to be with his wife. So that's exactly who would be hitting on you, is like guys that hate their wives, essentially.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know.
We see the same interesting, and I'm not going to try to bitch about it or something, right? But it's just an interesting thing. We see like women complain a lot about the double standards in dating, right? Especially like with body count, right? And so we kind of see like there's this double standard with shotgun marriages, right? Where people are overly concerned about, what if a woman's stuck in a marriage that she's not happy in, but they don't give a flying fuck if a man is stuck. He shouldn't have had sex with her then, right? So we see this too with married men and married women, right? Like the married man approaching you, no one cares if his wife is like a demon or not, like is terrible or not. But like when a woman is in a bad marriage, like, and she cheats on her husband, everyone's like, oh, well, what do you expect her to do? Like, he was so horrible to her. So I just find this interesting, this double standard we have with relationships.
I don't really think it's double standard. I think if both ways are true. If a man is with an obviously not good woman, I think a lot of people would lean on the man side, and if it's vice versa, if a woman was with a man that was obviously cheating on her, they would tell her, okay, this is obviously not a good relationship. I think
But you see this, right? Like if a man is complaining about his marriage, a lot of other men and women will be like, oh, you need to be more attentive to your wife's needs. You need to do more for her, right? But if a woman is complaining about her marriage, it's almost never, you need to do more for your husband so that he'll treat you better. Like, doesn't that sound crazy to some of the ladies? If a woman's like, my husband is not a good husband, doesn't it sound crazy? You should do more for him so he'll treat you better. But this is like what we tell men a lot of times that are like, my wife, you know, my marriage is bad. My wife won't sleep with me, whatever.
I mean, you both can just not be in the marriage. You could just get a divorce. It's
And
just
that's
money.
why the divorce rate is as high.
But that's
as
not
it is.
answering the question, though, is it? Right? Like, that's. Do we understand like
But if
where
you're
you're going?
that
with this?
miserable,
Yeah.
Friends and their
yeah.
life, it would just I would hope that their friends in their personal life would actually know their relationship. Like if their friends knew, like, okay, she's actually kind of crazy and is actually not good for him, I would hope that their inner circle would, you know, give them good advice. You know,
And
I also like I don't think of it that way. Like I agree with you, TC. If a man was open about like if he said, yeah, my wife treats me like shit, she does this and this to me, and it was like a bad and like dangerous situation, or even not even that, if it was just like, I'm not happy in this marriage, like personally, if I was with someone and they said they weren't happy, I would say, well, what can I do? Or is this it? Like, we can separate. Like, I wouldn't be like, well, you don't do this for me either. So like, if someone's unhappy, they're unhappy. It doesn't matter who's unhappy. It's if someone's unhappy, then you got to fix it. Right. Like,
Yeah.
I don't believe in like like, oh, like you're obviously not treating your wife well if you're not being treated well or something like that. Like, I really do. Like, I had someone talk to me about how their girlfriend wasn't treating them right. And I said, well, I agree with you, because you should be treated as well as you, let's say, treat her. Like, it's not like, well, what are you doing to her that's making her act this way? Like, that's just my opinion. I think like if one of you guys is unhappy, then like it doesn't matter who's doing what, if that makes sense. Like, you're not happy. You know, it doesn't matter if it's the man or the woman. Yeah.
But nobody
100%.
cares if men aren't happy. Like that's the point that we're trying to drive home. Like
I
no
would
one has
care.
ever cared.
I
I
care.
know, and I know,
I care.
Robin, you're one of the good ones. Like you're all three the exception of the rule, whatever you want to hear. Men, no one cares. No one cares. Now, the only thing what I thought was
I don't want to
interesting.
be
Now
the reason why someone's unhappy. I don't want to be the reason why. So
but
like,
not
I'm
being you in a
someone else.
relationship. We're talking about like as like friends and things like that, right? It's like we're talking about, you know, you kind of said it and then you kind of corrected yourself. But what I find interesting, I think this is just natural. When we talk about, it's really easy for women to get off the hook when it comes to being unhappy in marriages. They get away with being unhappy about the simple shit. Like he doesn't pick his socks up when I ask, or he comes home a little bit late, or he drinks more often than I wish he would, or he doesn't help her. It's like little innocuous shit. We have to go so far in the other direction. It has to be like she's beating the shit out of him and pulled a knife on him and said she's going to cut him in his sleep for us to go, oh, okay, all right, maybe she is fucking psycho. But if he's like, if he's like, bro, she never fucking cooks my dinner on time. Like I always got to have smelly fucking clothes to wear. You know, like I work really, really fucking hard. She doesn't pay a dime of the fucking bills, and I can't even get dinner at a reasonable time. You'd be like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, are you kidding right now?
Cook?
So
you can't do your own laundry.
Yeah, you can't do your own stuff. Like, oh, do you work so hard, big man, that you can't do basic things? Like, you fucking helpless baby. It's funny, but you know it's true, and that's the thing. So it's just
I hate to say it, but like,
look, it just is what it is, right? Because you'd be like, God, what a pussy, dude. You can't fucking cook some steak. Like, you're a man, figure it out. So again, I think it's just, and the reason I like this conversation is I know we're having fun with it, but I'm a real firm believer, and I I think the more that we try to tell people and convince ourselves that we are different or opposite of our innate biological hardwiring, like the worse off we are. The further we go away from the way that we've always worked and the way that we've pushed society forward to a place. It's so funny. We had a woman on last week. I was like, is this the best time to be alive ever? And she's like, yeah, but everything also sucks at the same time. It's like, well, you can't have both. It's either the best time ever, which means everything we've done to get to this point is the best it could have possibly turned out to our knowledge. Why are we going in a different direction? Why? Like, we're going straight. The boat's moving fine. Everything's working how it should. We're having massive technological and societal advancements. What's the fucking problem? So I think in a playful way, we're kind of like being honest about male and female nature in a way. So, and just how we're how we even talk about men and women without people being able to call you misogynist and shit like that. I mean, that's something I don't know if maybe you ladies have noticed that we definitely have. Anything that could be viewed as maybe it's criticism, maybe it's not, but anything that could be perceived as criticism of women is really like shamed and frowned down upon, right? Like, even saying something like, yeah, like sometimes women like to date for money. Oh, misogyny. Like, because are there women out there that date for money? Sure. But it's like the minute we try to point out something that makes women actually seem more human, it's like we get annihilated. What do you think about that?
I kind of do want to bring up like that's like why men feel like they can't, like if they are complaining about a woman saying she doesn't make my dinner on time, etc., they feel like they can't say that because they're supposed, you know, how like men are supposed to be the providers, whatever. But I also think I want to link that with like mental health too. Like, men don't speak up about mental health because they have this like tough persona. And I think that also leads to them not being happy in a marriage, but not like ever saying anything because they're supposed to be tough, and we're more like emotional and like we communicate more about our feelings. So I find like that also goes under the rug as well.
God, Moff, can you imagine how happy tens of millions of men would be if their wives didn't complain about what was bothering them every day?
Yeah.
But I want to kind of
have
bring this
good balance of communication, though. Like, I let my husband mind all the time.
I want to bring this full circle.
My husband was just laughing because about the cooking. He's like, "You never cook. I'm the chef here in this." But he said it probably. He's like, "I'm the chef in this relationship." I thought it was funny. I mean, but that's just our rules because I'm a bad cook, so I just let him cook.
Yeah, so I want to bring this full circle. Like earlier, we were talking about men not stepping up, essentially, right? And so after all of this conversation, I want to kind of pose this to the ladies, right? Like, what is it? So like men aren't stepping up, but like, what is it that women are doing, right? Like, what could a man even complain about in his relationship that his woman's not doing that anyone would even take seriously, right? It's like, even if he says she won't have sex with me, the reply is usually something like, you need to do this and that and this. So like, that being said,
it's
like,
because she doesn't
is it that men aren't stepping up? Or is it that like there's nothing to step up to? Like, why would I step up? Like, what am I even gonna get out of this?
Like step up in a relationship, you mean?
Yeah. So like, what is? I guess I'm basically asking, like, what is it that a woman in 2026 brings to a man's life, right?
I would hope I hope that the woman that the man chooses to be with is his like idea of a perfect wife, or you know, like a perfect girlfriend. I would hope that they would choose someone that is more that kind of their type versus someone like, if let's say she says at the beginning of the relationship like, I'll never do laundry, but let's say the sex is good, so he overlooks that and then he complains later on, oh, she never does my laundry. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like,
Mhm.
well, this is kind of what you need to discuss before you commit to each other.
For most guys, if he's getting sex at all, he'll overlook other stuff because he's not getting sex anywhere else.
But that's what I'm saying. And then they'll come back and be like, well, why, like, you know, like, why are you in a relationship with me if I already told you what I do and don't do? And then now, like, we're in this, like, hurdle and,
Yeah.
you know.
So what it sounds like is that these men will, like, tell you they'll say it's fine you don't do laundry so that you'll stick around and continue having sex with them, which sounds a lot like a situationship, how that plays out, right?
I mean, men should just stop thinking with their dicks. Like, that would
Good
save
luck with
themselves.
Yeah,
so
right. Like women should stop
Headache.
wanting to get married and
We
have
wouldn't have
children.
heartache.
Like,
We wouldn't have running water.
Well, I don't want kids, so like I'm not one of those
Yeah.
women personally,
okay,
but like
I mean, whatever you like. Yeah, we just
I
just
also-
tell women
yeah.
to not want to be married or to not have men take care of them. Like that's the equivalent of that.
But this
You
is
can't
what
Well, I
do. You
also-
can't do it.
women also will like offer sex too soon, but that's why men get like, what is the term? Honey potted?
Oh,
I'm
I
not
mean, if
sure.
you're like that's like an FBI thing. Yeah, it's like not really like a dating term. That's what they send like the spy to bang the Russian so he gives up secrets and stuff.
taco trap. What is it?
But
Yeah.
it still applies today though. Like women will be like, oh, I'll offer you this. And men are like, okay. And they go for it. And it's like, no, like you got to do better by for yourself, you have to do better. So that way you don't end up with someone crazy. And then you end up with someone who actually like gives a damn about you and actually wants to take care of you and make you happy. And someone who, you know, might not withhold sex from you in the future because you pissed him off.
Do you think it's ever appropriate for women to withhold and like weaponize sex against men?
I personally don't think so, no.
I don't
But
think that's right.
why? So why do women make guys wait? Why do women make some guys wait and let some guys go first date?
I personally think like the one, like if I'm not interested in someone like romantically and pursue anything, like maybe I would still have sex with them because I have attraction.
You're cool with the first
and
date lay.
type of thing. Like if it's not, no, what I like.
His
If I
face is so
know that this
straight.
is like, I don't know, like some women, if they know it's not going any further, but like, yeah, if they know it's not going to go any further, they don't want to see this guy ever again. That type of thing.
So
But
he's more likely to get it sooner than the guy you actually want to date. Is that where we're going?
exactly, yeah, because
Okay.
you want to, like, you don't want. I personally wouldn't want to think like the guy that I want to be with to think that I'm like easy to get with. Like I'd want like. If I'm interested in a guy, I'd want to get to know them more. And that should be like
Mhm.
after you get to know the person, if I was genuinely like interested in them.
Yeah.
Okay. Angelina, what about you?
Yeah.
I would also say any guy that's willing to offer up penis to me on like the 1st to the 10th
So
date, first
every
of all,
guy
like
on the
I'm
planet.
just gonna assume you're offering it up and you're just community dick, and I don't
So
want
every
that.
guy
That means
on
you
the
have
planet-
problems.
The
every
guys in
man
your
in the
circle.
world. Do you think there's a man on this earth that if you said, let's go get it on right now, no strings attached, no one will ever know, and I won't shame you after, they're going to say no to you?
I mean, hopefully a man with self-respect would say no.
What? Why even bother offering?
I would never offer.
So,
Well,
Angelina,
does
It's
that
not the
really
point.
matter though? Like,
To me, yes.
Why are you saying that that's self-respect? Like, why does it actually even
Because-
matter?
What's dirty about
I'll tell
sex,
you
which
why.
when you have it, you lose self-respect? Like, what's so bad about having sex?
For me, it's like it's also part of like your hygiene almost. If you have sex with just everyone and anyone, it opens you up to like, I mean, we all know bodily problems happen to some people, but like I also, for me in my head, it's like, if anyone can just be with you, I don't want to be with you because you might be prone to cheating later. You might be prone to having something and giving it to me. You might be prone to maybe you have a sex
There's
addiction.
testing
I don't
for
know.
that though, right? Like there's
So-
I mean,
like all of that stuff is really easily handled and taken care of, right? Like sexual health has never been more mainstream and popular, and like there's never been better medicine than there's ever been. I mean, I think the STD thing is a red herring for the real point. And I think I know where we're going. I want to finish with Amelia though. I want to get your opinion on the same
Part
thing.
of
Like
yourself. You're giving yourself a part. You know, if you're giving yourself to this person and this person, there's energy. It's. I mean, I'm a woman of
that,
faith.
no, well, that's not the, I want to
think
get back.
that
That's not
matters
the
with
question.
guys?
It's not,
Like-
that's not the, hold on. No, that's not the question. We're going back to like the guy that would have sex with you sooner is a guy that you like or a guy that you don't like? A guy that you want to date or a guy that you don't care about seeing again? Like who's more likely to get like a first date, whatever from you, or get it earlier?
Of course, a guy that I like.
We'll get it sooner.
Do anything with somebody that I don't like, it would just end and there would be no
Oh, well.
physical contact at all.
Well, then it's not a great question for you to answer. So I'll digress. Because if that's the line, then but I'm curious and I think what's interesting, I think a lot of women have the same sentiment. I've heard this from a lot of women.
Yeah.
They'll say, yeah, I don't really like the guy. Like I'll just bang him and I'll let him go home. And like I'm never going to see him again.
I would never do that. That's just
Well,
why
no, I know. But that's a different story. Like we're talking about, I think there's an opinion of women. There's two women on this panel that we won't say their names for privacy. No, that would have sex with guys they're not super serious with. Like that's fine. Okay,
No,
cool. Feminism. Hold on. This isn't a demonization. I'm not going to write a press release about this tomorrow. The point I'm trying to make is that men generally think the complete opposite way. All men want to sleep with you. If men are interested in going out with you, they're interested in going on a date with you, they want to sleep with you, and they're thinking about sleeping you first and foremost before you ever look at them, open your mouth, shake their hand, say your name. Like they're already thinking about sleeping with you if they like you. They're attracted to you. If they see you. Right off the bat, I know. Fucking so for a guy, like
I'm just kidding.
I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. I'm going somewhere. I actually believe that a man doesn't know if he's, and you might have been on the show for this, Amelia, but I don't think a man truly knows if he actually likes a woman until after he's had sex with her. I don't think it's possible. I think everything in his innate masculine nature is saying, I see an attractive woman that I want to put kids into. And then afterwards, I'm basically going to evaluate her to see if I'll stick around, to see like if the kid's born or whatever. That's like
The sex
lizard.
confirms that
So you may as well just like cut our heads
Hold
off
on.
at this point.
That's
I don't know.
what
This is
attractive girl. You're like, yeah, I like her. She's attractive, but until I have sex with her, that's like the confirmation that okay, yeah, I really like
no.
her. Is that what you're saying?
no. It's like it's basically it's like this. You have what I want as a woman. As a man, I want to sleep with a woman. I don't necessarily want to sleep with that same woman. Like, again, this is like monkey lizard brain, right? This is why, this is also why men usually want to run out and get the hell out of Dodge after sex. It's not because we don't like them. It's because our job here is done. In our caveman brain, this woman is now pregnant. Now it's time to get the fuck out and go find another one. Like, that's really what it's telling to us. So essentially, now, at the same time, there's things women can do that can quell that interest, or it's essentially a woman's job to keep a man's around after that. That's how I think, or that's how men think. It's like, my work here is done. And you're like, well, I've just let you do that to me, which means I think that you could be a good father for my children, a protector, again, like caveman shit. I want to keep you around. I don't want you to run out on me because I want my kids to survive. And maybe I want you to give me more of them. So that's like, I would think it's smarter to, if you really actually like a guy and you want to see if he's still a guy you like and he's continuing to act the same way, I think that's a guy you sleep with before a guy you don't like at all. I don't think you sleep with guys you don't like at all anyway, because of what it can do with, the way it affects like notch counts and all that kind of stuff, but that's another conversation. So I don't know. Does that give you any change of heart? Does that make any difference? Do you think I'm full of shit?
No, like I do agree with that. I was just in my head because I was thinking about this saying that I read like a long time ago, and it was like, um, it was something about like I don't know it word for word, but it was something about like, yeah, like you could be good at sex, but it's your morals, it's your values, it's how good of a person you are that kind of keeps like guys around or just people around in general. So like I think too that um getting to know someone and getting to know like what they like to do in the mornings or like how they like their coffee. It's small little details, but it's details that you'd want to know about the person you want to be with. And sex does not give that like it doesn't show you that side of them, you know?
Doesn't show you that, doesn't show the man that side. Is that what you're saying? Like
No,
sex
yeah,
doesn't
it
reveal
doesn't
those
show,
traits?
yeah, like because I feel like all men, obviously, all men want a good woman, but their classification of good women would be different than the other guy's person of like a good woman. You see,
I don't
but
think guys really care about that. Like, I don't think, I mean, you have to define the difference between a good woman and a bad woman. And it's like,
I feel
what
like
does
that
that
would be
even
up to
look
the
like?
guy. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Like,
well, yeah, but it's like we have some things we can kind of generally agree on. I mean, but I don't know. Oh my goodness. What's
Sorry, that was my baby.
that's all right. I guess where I'm kind of going with it is like we do this a lot, like, oh, everybody's different, but we know there's things we can make and judgments we can make based on, you know, generalizations and things like that. So now I lost it. You guys take over. I lost it. I had it and I lost it.
Someone asked my husband while he was here. I was like, "Did you like me more after we had
Oh, now I
sex?"
know where we're going. Yeah.
And he's like, "Of course I did." So I guess that answers your question.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the point, right? That's yeah. So it's like that's where we're at. So I mean, and that's the whole thing. And your point is correct. Like it's not like, I guess what I meant was guys don't care about like good women, or it's like guys don't really expect women, I think, to operate with the same code that we operate with. Things like honor and code and like a lot of these things, and ownership, like accountability. Like none of this stuff's a bad thing. I was thinking about this today in terms of accountability, and maybe we can pivot there. Let me just get this thought out. So a lot of guys, maybe you've heard this before, like a lot of women are unable to take responsibility and accountability. Guys will say that, like, women dodge accountability. There's memes, you understand, like where it's like it's never their fault, right? And so kind of talking about guys who wish things were different and instead of using it to their advantage how they are, if we know that the reason women generally don't like to take accountability is because, and here we go back into caveman times again, this idea of, yeah, it's my fault, I left the back gate unlocked and all of our sheep got out, right? Like, did it, that was me. It'd be like, you're fucking out of here. Like, you're such a liability that we're just going to kill you. Like, it doesn't matter, it's over. Or you're going to have to be cast out into the wild where you'll surely die. So it always behooved women to sort of shirk responsibility or pass it along because they couldn't win even like against a man in a fair fight. And so I think that creates a lot of fear in relationships where men get very accusatory because men like confrontation and men expect other men to own up to their shit. It's like, you did this, motherfucker. It's like, well, yeah, you, like, I might have done that. And that's kind of how men do it. And so when men go to women and say, you did this shit, what's wrong with you? They're creating an environment where her, like, taking accountability would be punished instead of rewarded. So it's like, if mistakes are made, if things happen that are not on purpose, I think men need to do a better job of kind of molding and shaping their woman psyche into where it's like, the more honest you're willing to be about it being your fault and your responsibility and you fucked up, the better we will be. I don't know. Do you all feel the pull on that? Like when you get attacked or blamed for shit, are you trying to pass it off? Like, I don't know. What do you think about that whole thing?
yeah, I agree. Like it doesn't, like, yeah, it doesn't matter your gender in this point. If you fuck up, you fuck up, right? Like that's what I believe. So I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Would you agree that women are particularly more anti accountability than men? Or do you think it's like an even 50-50 split? Because I'm on the contention that I think women dodge accountability far more often than men do. But
I
it's
think it
because it's
depends on what it
natural.
is.
Or
Like,
they take a lot of, I mean, if I'm personally me speaking, if my husband calls me out on something, I'm very quick to apologize and, you know, say that was my bad. But I think that also, again, that has to do with maturity wise. If these girls are not willing to take accountability for what they did, you know, they're obviously not in the mindset of having humility, you know, that comes down with having humility. Because when you have humility, you can apologize and know when you're wrong and say you're sorry for what you did.
And I think that's
Yeah.
just being a basic human at this point.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm like, if a girl calls me out for something, I'm going to own up to it. Like, and it doesn't matter if a guy calls me out for the exact same thing. I'm not going to be like, oh no, it's all your fault because you're a guy. No, like, I think it's just basic
Yeah.
human, like, own your shit, take accountability.
But we're talking about it. See, I'm not framing it in a negative light, and all three of you just did. That's what I find interesting. I'm saying
That's
it's a
funny.
feature. You're all saying it's a bug. When I say like women don't really love take accountability, I'm not like these broads suck. I'm like that's how they operate. Well, but what was that?
I don't know what those women are then. They're clearly not in my circle.
I feel like those are just immature women. If any woman is not able to take accountability, then that's just like a mindset of you being
But
immature.
it's a natural thing. Like this is something that we know and has been explained in like Evo psych circles. Like all this stuff is widely accepted. It's not. See, this is I think kind of this is exactly why what I said earlier. Like listen to how far we are apart. We are painting something. What I mean by that is this, like when we understood like women are a liability on the battlefield, when we understood that women can't fight as well as men, when women aren't as strong as men, when we had these widely agreed upon, we're like, yeah, women generally don't love taking accountability. They don't love taking responsibility. All of these things that aligned with, it's always been that way since, that's what I'm talking about. Like, in every civilization ever, in every civilization that's ever been around, as long as women have been around, they've been dodging accountability. It's how they've survived. It's why they're better covert communicators than overt communicators because they can't fight. So when it comes to, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to save myself, I'm going to avoid blame because I'm like me getting kicked out to start a new tribe. I'm dead. I won't be able to survive. I literally cannot risk taking responsibility and accountability or else I'll die. It was literally a matter of life or death. And so like when we understood this, everything's going great. Everything's going fantastic. And now the further we've gone away. So the further we've gone away from that, now we're painting those things as negatives instead of looking them as positives and then using that to our advantage. Now, like women aren't taking accountability. They need to take accountability. We're basically telling women to go against like natural hardwiring and programming. And like the more we do that, the worse off we are.
Well, taking an accountability on a war zone, then like taking accountability, like, oh, did you leave the faucet running? No, I didn't. Like, okay, there's different types of accountability. So what type of accountability are you talking about?
That's not a real example, right? Like, did I leave the faucet on? No, I didn't.
Talk about men not taking accountability all the time. I asked my son, did you leave the toilet seat up? No. Yes, you did.
Yeah, but we're not talking about children. Children operate completely differently. They're not fully developed. They don't understand. They don't. No, but children don't understand.
Adult men do it too.
Children don't understand the concept of accountability. Like that's not. We can't even make that argument. They don't.
Are you talking about like someone cheating and taking accountability?
Yeah, I think both genders have their.
I'm trying to understand what kind of accountability. Did you burn the French toast that you said you were making? No.
Or did you cheat on me?
But how is that a real? That's just a flat out. That's just a flat out lie, right? Do we not really know what taking accountability looks like? Like, did you leave this on and we're the only two people that live here and I just got home? And you say no, that's not lacking accountability. That's just retardery. here's an example, right? So it's like, it's this idea of, okay, Angelina, it's your night watch to watch the goats, and you're on the gate, and if you don't close it on time, they're all going to get out. Well, you fall asleep, and it's like, Angelina, it was your fucking job. All the goats got out. We're kicking your ass out of this tribe. You're done. You've jeopardized everybody here. Now we got to go round them up. Like, so your choice is either find a way to pin the blame on somebody else, or it's die. So then it turns into, well, I didn't get a lot of sleep the night before because my husband was being a douchebag and he kept trying to get me for sex, and he knows that I've been this. So it's all these things going on at home, and it's all these things are adding up, and I know it was my job, but it's just, nope, that's not acceptable, and it's not my fault. Like, why wouldn't you? I'm not painting it as a negative thing. I'm saying you all did whatever it is you needed to do to survive, and that's why you're here. But I think that's fine. I'm not framing it as a negative. I'm framing it as a natural
feel like we both
thing.
do it.
I don't think it's just women that are doing it. I think men do that as well.
I think men are taught it by women. I think men live out of, I think we now grew in such a feminized society that the correct way to act is the one that is feminine, and that's a natural feminine thing. So like when guys see women getting their way all the time and lying about it and not having to own up to shit, like why would they not try the same thing, see if it works?
I think that's a man
What about
trait.
growing up without dads?
Men grow up without dads all the time, and they don't take accountability for their kids that they're not raising. So they're like, "Oh,
yeah, but we
that's
talked
okay
about
to
that,
do."
didn't we?
Men,
Didn't we talk about that?
We're talking about it again. We're talking about it again.
I mean, Judas denied Jesus 3 times. He did not take accountability, and
It was Peter, I thought. Judas was the betrayer.
No, it was
Peter
Judas,
was the denier.
and he got.
No, Judas
No,
was
it
the
was Judas.
traitor.
He
Peter was
betrayed.
the denier. I'm not even a Christian, and I know that. Somebody fact check me here. 'Cause
Oh, yeah,
Judas
yeah,
was
yeah,
not.
yeah.
Oh my
Peter's
God!
the one
Big
who did
win! Big win for the secular crowd right here.
My point was
Flip that
Judas
shit.
betrayed him.
Yes, he
not
gave
taking
him. Judas gave
And
him up.
Judas
and
did
then
not
Peter
take
denied him 3
accountability
times when the
either.
bell tolled.
not taking
Let's,
They
accountability.
both fucked up.
But when Jesus met the woman at the well, she did not do accountability. She had accountability, and she told the whole town. I think from the beginning of time, it was the man.
For the record, I don't think any of that happened at all. But I digress. I actually wanted to ask. This is actually, now that we're talking about like disciples and groups of men, I wanted to ask this because Amelia, you kind of mentioned this twice. You said it once when we were talking about guys, who they should talk to, and they should talk to their boys and guys like that, like, or that men don't speak up. You kind of mentioned, and I don't know if this has been said before, but it's probably the first time I've said it. I don't think men refuse to speak up. I don't think men have anyone to talk to. I think that's where we're at. The solutions for modern men to talk about the things they're going through and the things they're facing, there are no men's only spaces anymore. The answer is to go to therapy, which is the vast majority women from liberal arts colleges and that use feminist driven, APA sort of things to push agenda or even just put people on drugs or whatever it might be. But it's more men are lonely now. Everybody likes to make jokes about the male loneliness crisis, like it's a punchline, and that's fine. But I think that's part of the problem. What my question is, maybe to both you and Angelina, like, what do you? And maybe you're not comfortable, maybe you are, but you have a relationship and you're married. Like, what sort of do your husbands have? Their guys, their dudes, the people they spend time with, like their tribe. Like, what is that like for them? If you're not, if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, it's my dad is a huge part of my husband's life. His dad's not, he's around, but he kind of wasn't really in his life growing up. But now in his life, my dad's a huge figure in his life. My brother, all the men in my life that I grew up with are now in his life. Thankfully, he's like buddy with our pastor. So, I mean, they go out to luncheons all the time. My church has a
What about non-family for you? Like, I'm trying to think, like, maybe this scenario that maybe you guys are fighting or there's a real struggle. Like, he's not going to tell your dad, right, or your brother about you guys having like a really serious fight or the specifics of it, but he'll tell his buddy, right? Like, or whatever it is. I'm talking about like friends that are not in any way connected to you. They're like connected to him separately from you.
I've never really seen him seek friend validation. It's
What do
mostly
you mean
been
by that?
um
Like he's never had friends?
no, he has friends,
Or
but
does he have family on his side, like brothers and stuff like that and cousins?
no, but from what I've seen, he's seeked a lot of counsel from my dad just because my dad is still married to my mom. I've personally never seen them argue in my life, but just coming from someone who has a long, fruitful marriage, he's always seeked counsel from, it's always been
What would
passed.
happen if you guys broke up or got divorced?
That's a non-negotiable.
I mean, let's just say you did. Like, who would he turn to and talk to?
Probably Pastor Brad.
So somebody that's still, so how would it be? How could like somebody like that be impartial if they both have a relationship with you? I think the point that I'm trying to drive at, I'm not trying to like grill you on this. The point that I'm trying to drive at is that men need a tribe. Like men need guys around that are going through the things they're going through and they're experiencing the same things, or they're guys that have gone through it and that they can give and counsel advice. But it's like, they need that of their own. Like if for whatever reason you all got divorced or my God, or whatever it might be, the worst case scenario, like it's happened. Like people that have said, I will never get divorced have been divorced. People that said I would never do this have done this. Like we're all creatures on this rock driven by emotions as much as we can be. So it's, what I see so much is scenarios like that. The vast majority, maybe you could agree with me or chime in on this, but the vast majority of guys come to our group, the thing that we run, like our brotherhood, because they get divorced or dumped and kids taken away or split time or whatever. And they got no guys outside of like they shared all their wife's friends or it was wife's family, and they got nobody, absolutely nobody. Because in times of divorce, like it's very rare for families to side with men over women. Like again, the woman has to be like batshit insane for people to not side with her. She has to like threaten to kill the kids. It's just how it goes. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm curious why maybe you wouldn't encourage him maybe to seek some of that, or maybe it's just like you didn't know. I don't know. Or do you agree with that? Do you think that's a big deal? Because we think it's a major, major deal.
No, I think men should have a tribe and women should have their tribe as well. I think both genders.
Why do women always have to get involved? Like, why can't men just have something?
Oh my God.
Why? Anyway, I know, but I also don't agree. It's not the same.
Everybody
Right? Like,
needs
it's definitely not the
community.
same. But it's definitely not the same. Like, there's never been a tribe of just women that's ever survived anything. It's always been like tribe has always been strictly like a masculine pursuit. Like, that's always been kind of something.
Men
right?
and
Women
women.
stayed home and but like men went out on hunts and like expeditions for months to years at a time. Like women never did that. Like men have always been the only ones to go to war until very recently. It's always been a masculine pursuit, this idea of like brotherhood and tribe. Like women don't really have a seat at that table, like at all.
There are some women, historically speaking, that were big tribes of women that would go to war. I mean, they're long gone now because, but it's not something
we
that's
know
also
why.
well talked about.
We know why they're long gone because they
died of
lost.
natural causes, damn it.
They lost. I mean, we know why they're not around anymore.
You're funny.
I'm just saying.
But I mean,
it's just funny. Like I'm trying to like I'm playing, but it's like, and I'm poking fun, but it's just somebody asked me last week. She goes, in doing, and I know we're starting to come up towards time, but maybe this is a good time to maybe do our wrap or start around it. But the woman asked me last week the three of you can do this. You don't have to do this. You can if you want. We always give them the guests a chance to ask us any questions. But one of the guests said, "Hey, have you, in doing the show, and I don't know, 100 episodes more I've done at this point, has anybody changed your mind or anything? Or like anything that women have told you changed your stance and it has got you to change sides?" And it's like, no, it's the complete opposite. Every time I do this show, I'm just more vindicated or vindicated in the things that I like say, like men and women do this, like women do that, women ask questions like that. So it's like when I'm like, men need a tribe, like it's one of the fundamental masculine experiences. It's like, well, women need one too. It's like, it's always like, let's make sure we have a seat at the table. Like it's video games, clubs, gyms, everything. It's all gender combined now. But anyway, that's just kind of my own little entertaining tidbit. So we got 15, 20 or so minutes. Let's say 15, 10. Is there anything that you all want to ask anybody on the panel, or a question for all three of us, or anything that you've got that you're curious about, or anything that you disagree on that you want to touch on again?
Do you not think women need their own tribe though? Like their own women that they could fellowship with and confide in? Because I mean, we're both human.
Generally not.
What about like girls' nights? Like,
well, I mean, if it's purely, if it's for pure,
we should just carry all of our burden all of ourselves and never confide in anybody else.
If it's purely for like fun and whimsy and entertainment, like go nuts. You guys want to have slumber parties and like knitting circles and play Candyland and shit, like Twister, go for it. I'm cool.
Like I can live without my girls.
But when life gets serious, we don't.
I like that pajama party was the example.
PJ parties
a lot better than some of the ones we've heard.
All that shit. So I mean, what's something you would go to like a girlfriend about? Like what's a common example? Like or like when you say like when life's getting really rough, like what would you go to her for? Like what exactly would you go to a girlfriend for?
I mean, personally, prayer, counsel.
Yeah, but on what though? Like what advice are they going to give you? What specifically would you go? Like, my question is this, like, why would you go to a girlfriend before your husband, or ever before your husband? Like, why isn't the husband the final authority when it comes to everything?
Well, God forbid I want to get my husband a birthday present. I'm not going to ask him what he wants. Or maybe
but I don't think that's what we're talking about here.
I know, but I'm just saying, like that's where you wouldn't go to your husband first.
But
I would go to my husband. But if I'm not getting the clarification that I needed, and I needed maybe just outside perspective, then yeah.
But why would an outside perspective ever be met better or more valuable than the man that literally gave you a child, takes care of you, keeps a roof over your head? Like the person who has the most stake in your life ever and will ever have, you need to outsource that opinion to a girlfriend who, like, if you talk shit about her a little bit, won't ever talk to you again. Or if you call her fat, will like throw a drink in your face.
I
know I'm going on the extreme, but I'm just making that an example. I'm just saying, like, isn't this supposed to be the number one guy that like his word is gospel? He's the most invested person in your whole life. Like friends come and go.
Perfect. Nobody's perfect. And a guy shouldn't go to his guy friends. So that means that husband should go to his wife first before going to his guy friends?
No, it's the opposite. That's what's so amazing and great about it. That's because men and women are the opposite when it comes to this. And so the opposite, we're completely different. Like we're opposites in this manner.
Like, that's also double standard. The women can't.
But we're not equal. We can't be a double standard if we're not equal.
But, I mean, that's just like then saying standards. You can't go to your girlfriends before me, but I can go to my guy friends before I go to you.
Yeah, but Amelia, like, there's not a single double standard that actually exists when you're talking about men and women. The idea of a double standard is contingent on two beings or things that are completely alike without any prejudice, judgment, or bias, and then you treat one better than the other for no reason. That's a double standard. When you have completely two different people in the world that values two different beings completely differently, there can't be a double standard. There just can't be, because we're not the same thing to start out of. So that's why it's perfectly okay to say there are things that are unique and solely responsible and solely for the male experience that women just don't experience. And there are things that women get to have and things that women get to experience that no man on earth will ever get to experience. And that's okay. Like, why can't we just be honest about that? Why can't we just be honest that it's like, if you're 21 years old on a boat, if you're a girl, it's someone else's. If you're a guy, you bought it, right? Like, or you're the butler, like serving hors d'oeuvres. That's the only way you're on that fucking thing. So like,
let me,
that's okay. But yeah, please go ahead.
Let me throw Amelia a bone here. So I think women should have like not a tribe, but like they need a network of women around them. And I think one of the things like that's very important about this is so you can get like your feminine outlet into that instead of driving your husband fucking insane, right? Like go to the store, like, you know, hang out with the babies together, right? Like do these things that men are like not that interested in doing with your girlfriends, right? Like, you know, you're going through some shit in a pregnancy. Like, yeah, you want a woman that's been through a pregnancy before, like to help you with this, right? But I agree with Moff, like these the things that a man's going to be like going to his guys for, like a woman should go to her husband for those things instead.
Yeah, firm believer of keeping it in the family. Like, and I don't think guys
I would
should do
agree with
that
that
either.
too, yeah.
I don't think, I'm not saying like, I think, you know, guys do this, but I don't think they should. I don't think they should go to their men about their female problems if they're like super, super, super serious. If it's like I don't know. I'd have to rethink on that a little bit because I do think guys are kind of numbskulls when it comes to that. So it's better for them to have male influence. I think that, I don't know how this is going to go. I think that men generally try to give advice
Guy friend.
that
He's saying, yeah, I'm coming to you, baby.
I think that guys, fuck, I had it and I lost it. I keep doing this. Got interrupted. That's okay. Yes, got it back. I think when guys give each other advice, I'm going to apologize for that dead air in advance. I feel like never going to watch this show again. So when guys, I think, are giving each other advice, I think it's really trying to help and they're really, really invested in their growth and going forward. And I think that guys want to build each other up. And I think guys naturally want to do that because better men, even though we're competitive, that moves society forward. Like male competition is good because it causes dudes to build more things, make better shit, like work harder, work longer, make more money. Female competition is like the opposite because women are generally competing for men and the attention of men. And there's no honor when it comes to like, there's no second prize. You either get the guy or you get the dude that you hate or you don't end up with anybody because you'd rather be single than be saddled with some dude that you can't stand. So like, I think women don't always I think women tend to be more self-serving. And I think it's hard for them to give altruistic advice. Like I think women in relationships tend to be want to be the only ones in relationships in the group, or they're at least in the best one because there's like a hierarchy. And then if they're single, like, and the girlfriends were going out and hanging out, they don't want to see another single girl pulled into a relationship. So they have less single girls and friends to hang out with. So I think it gives them a lot of implicit bias that keeps them from giving good advice. So that's why I think women don't give great advice, like in general. And I think it's mostly like if women should go to their husbands and their boys should go to their boys. Like, I mean, maybe at best little girls should go to their mothers, but even then there's a lot of like maternal jealousy out there. And like fratricide and infanticide is way higher in women than it is in men. But anyway, that's a different thing. It's the most dead air we've had on any show, I think, ever. I think it's probably my fault.
From who I think would give me the best advice in that situation.
Yeah.
I think it's a case by case because there's some things that I know I would go to my mother first before my husband because she's had experience in that. And then I would ask her, well, what do you think about this? Something.
Yeah, again, I think I would grant like mother. I think that's the thing. I'd be like, yeah, of course. But I think like women that go to their girlfriends over their husband or their man's opinion, I think like are nuts. I don't think I just can't imagine a situation where if it's like important enough to affect your life in any meaningful way that like a friend's advice is going to be better than the person that is the most invested in you in like the entire world. But at the same time, I don't know.
Well, it's vice versa. I think my husband invited me that advice first before he goes to his guy. Because I mean, obviously, those people
I know, Amelia, but men and women are different. That's just the way we're different. We're just different. It's just different.
A lot of similarities too.
Here's what I'll say too. Like Amelia, here's what I'll say. I know you're gonna call me a liar on this. I know you are.
I don't call names.
No, it's okay. I just know where you're gonna go with this. I don't know your husband at all, but I'm gonna kind of just use you as an example, but also talking as generalizations. Like women want to be the one their husband comes to. And we talked about this last time you were on as well. But I think if women knew how often, how long, how intensely they were struggling with something, how often they were worried about paying bills or making rent or being able to afford food or give you a vacation or a date or make sure the kids are picked up. Like men generally are dealing with like a crushing weight of responsibility at all times that they don't talk about. And I think that I think that's what happens. Like guys, when women say be vulnerable, they like, oh, okay, I can drop this entire ton of bricks on you. I can just dump it on your fucking head and then you're squashed by it. And you're like, this is not what I asked for. Because the amount of bricks that he's carrying, like it's unfathomable to you. Now, maybe instead, every day he comes and hands you one brick, right? One brick, maybe two on certain days. So like, I think I don't advocate for guys not to talk to their women at all. I think that's a way to build resentment. And it's just like, you don't want to keep her in the dark, but there's also like, you just kind of goldfish her a little bit. What do they call it? Like breadcrumb? You just breadcrumb some shit. It's like, you know what? I know you can't handle the whole fucking pie, but I'll give you a slice just so you have it. And then it's like, and that's enough. And for some guys, one brick is light enough that it helps them keep going. So I don't know. That's what I think about that. I just came up with that right now, by the way. So
on the spot.
What are any other questions, ladies, for us? I'll let these two answer anything too.
Sorry, I know we're giving you dead air again. I'm just a listener.
We'll just cut this whole part out.
I want to know what your status is, like what your current status is. Are you like actively dating and that's why you feel this type of way, or you're not dating, that's why you feel this type of way?
I'll answer that question. I'll answer that question by not answering.
In a relationship,
so I don't like to talk about my personal life. I try to keep that really private.
I just want to know where your mindset comes from.
I know, but it has nothing to do with being in a relationship or not being in a relationship. Like this is what the point that I keep coming back to. My personal experiences and what happened and what I caused to happen in myself with like relationships breaking up and getting the shit kicked out of me in relationships caused me to go looking for answers. I didn't fill in the gaps first. I actually went looking for answers and tried to figure out, why is this happening? What am I missing? Why am I struggling? What can I not figure out? And then it goes, it's because you're thinking about the game entirely wrong. You're thinking about dating and relationships. It's like everything you've ever been told with like Disney movies and rom-coms is actually bullshit. We're like this. We're like we've always been, but there's been powers at play that want to make money off people. And so they somehow got us to forget that we're completely different animals in our core. And so those beliefs and they've been reaffirmed through my own experiences. It's never been where whether I'm in a relationship or not in a relationship, whether I'm dating no women or multiple women, that it's like I said, the more time I spend talking to women and being around women and dating women, the more affirmed I am. So like, this is all coming from experience and then having these conversations. It has nothing to do with like, I was hurt and I'm lashing out. Like this is all stuff that, is highly backed up.
Moff and I have a lot of similar viewpoints, and I'll be completely honest with me. I'm out here in the streets. So if you hear some shit about me, don't say it. But anyways, most of my beliefs are rooted in science. They're rooted in evolutionary psychology. It's not from my own experience, because actually when I just went off my own experience and like what I thought was like the right thing to do and what people who were like maybe my parents or just like what society was telling me to do, it never got me where I wanted it to go. But when I looked at evolutionary psychology and how humans developed over time, it gave me a lot of answers that gave me better results. And so most of my beliefs and a lot of the stuff that I share with Moff is actually rooted in that. So a lot of the topics we talked about today, like generally, like I don't think we ever settled on this, but generally women being less accountable. Well, through evolutionary psychology says that would happen because a woman, if she did something wrong and she told everyone, and she was accountable and she said, hey, yeah, I did this thing wrong, there was a higher likelihood of her getting kicked out of the tribe and being basically killed. But if a man, and so if she were to not take accountability, it actually increases her chance of survival. If a man does not take accountability on something he messed up when he was out hunting, that means the tribe starves. And so if he does not take accountability, they suffer. And so men are more likely to be accountable. Another one of the topics being like, why are there more men who are not taking care of children, who are like, why is there more deadbeat dads than there's more dead? Well, men can actually have more children than women can. And if you look at evolutionarily, where most of human history, we did not have tests that we could confirm the father. Most of the time, it was kind of up in the air, a question mark, if this was the dad. But you know for sure who the mom is. So that mom's not going to leave the kid. But the dad might leave because he's not sure if it's his. And so pretty much almost all of my beliefs are rooted in that. And I believe Moff and TC would say the same.
I just had a Google. Accountability is generally not inherently determined by gender, but rather by individual maturity, upbringing, and context. It actually said that.
Now ask Google AI if men can get pregnant. Ask it. Let's see.
No.
It's gonna say yes. I bet you it
Say
will.
yeah.
It's going to say yes because trans men can get pregnant.
Yeah, sure. I want to tap real briefly into what Spencer said, and this kind of ties into what Moff was talking about earlier. Like a lot of guys nowadays do spurg out, and this is why I said earlier too. Like I don't want to sound like I'm being a little bitch, but it's interesting, like these differences in dating, right? But like this is why men have a problem nowadays. Okay, so women are allergic to accountability. Yes, that's how they evolved. So like how we used to deal with this back in the day, like 100 years ago, 200 years ago plus, was don't give women a responsibility that if they fucked it up, it would be a big issue, right? And like women were like, okay, cool. Like I don't want this crazy big responsibility. And now women are like, no, I want to do exactly what men are doing, but I don't want to have the consequences, right? So like this is how we kind of got here. Like men used to shield women from like the important things that could have big impacts that could be negative, right? And now women are like, we're the same as men. We could do anything men can do. And then like we wonder how everything's fucking sideways now. So guys watching, don't give women responsibility that if they fuck it up, you'll have to hold them accountable. Just don't do it to begin with. Easy.
There you go. True.
Easy.
Fair enough.
That's hilarious. I love it.
Well, if that's all we've got for tonight, that's all. Ladies, it was fun. We had a lot of fun. You're all welcome back anytime. We'll be here back same time next week. But yeah, if there's any questions you have for us, let us know. Tell Spencer to stay in touch with you. We appreciate you coming on. Like I said, guys, if you would just like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of good stuff. But we'll be on tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, me and TC here, hopefully taking some questions at 9 about navigating modern dating. So now just we chop it up with the ladies on Mondays and we talk about it on Tuesdays with just the two-man show. So appreciate you guys coming on tonight. Like I said, stay in touch. We'd love to have you on again. And till next time, we'll see you soon.